Fuck you. This is going in the episode.
No, it's not. All right, come on. Start again. Here we go. Ready? Go. 2, 1. When there's something strange
in the neighborhood.
Who you gonna call?
Movies with Ron.
Hey, Movies with Ron. We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Holy shit. Or you can email us at movieswithron@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I went and did that.
Yeah, you did it. Anybody been to our Facebook yet?
Every once in a while, we'll get like a view.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We got a view today?
Yeah. Well, you know, they do this thing.
I've been telling people.
They do this thing where you could pay like $20 and it'll like send it to people who don't know about you.
Yeah. How many views would we get for like $500?
I don't know.
You know what I saw in the movie theater tonight? Place your ad here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right?
Oh, man.
I'm thinking about it.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. You might want to check that out. That'd be fun as hell.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Here we are, episode number 5.
Yep. So you went to see the Shallows.
Oh, man. No. I might go see that tomorrow, though, because we actually took a week off. Everybody was taking vacations and stuff. You know, everybody except for you, because you're such a hard-working stiff, working with all them stiffs.
Thank you.
And, so the way we were working was we were actually recording and then posting a week later. So we were working ahead. That way we could all take vacations.
Now we're on the fly.
Yeah, now we are, we're recording Friday night and we are posting Monday morning. So we might do another one tomorrow, and that might be The Shallows.
Yeah, okay.
But tonight I went to see Ghostbusters 2016.
Oh, shit, man.
Yeah. No shit. It was all right.
Do you know about the YouTube history of this new Ghostbusters trailer?
No.
Well, it got a bad rap.
Bad rap?
It is the worst voted video in YouTube history. The trailer was. When the trailer came out, there was such a fan backlash that, and they had to do like counter marketing to like say like, oh, we don't care if it's the worst. It's not out yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, see, I did, I was watching some funny videos, some honest trailers and stuff like that, and, about like Ghostbusters 2. And in that, the guy's talking about, apparently, the new Ghostbusters, the internet has decided that it sucks, even before it comes out.
Yeah.
And, so apparently the internet's saying it was going to suck, but. All
right.
No. But you know what? What if it didn't? All right. That's why I went to go see this movie, because I started to see a couple of online posts saying, you know what, it's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to be there, okay, to witness it. If in fact all that shit from the internet was wrong, okay.
All right.
So I went to go see it. Yeah, it wasn't wrong.
Just gonna jump right out there and say it, huh?
Nah, I'm kidding. It was a pretty good movie. I mean, it was okay.
All right.
Was not,
Hopefully you're still listening.
It wasn't. Yeah. Everybody keep listening. It's okay. We can just cut that out, right?
No.
Digging our own grave here.
Okay. So, like a daytime showing?
No, I went to see it at 6 o'clock.
All right. Lots of people?
Yeah, about half full.
All right.
Yeah.
How was the crowd?
The crowd actually got a bunch of, there was a bunch of hooting and hollering every time, there was a cameo from one of the original actors.
Oh, sweet.
And I, for the first time in many years, I partook. And I actually clapped.
Oh,
I
yeah?
clapped for the cameo of one of the returning actors. Guess which one, Chris? And guess it the right time. Guess it right the first time. You have one guess.
Dan Aykroyd.
Fuck you. No. Ernie Hudson, baby.
All right.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So, the theater, nothing happened. It was, not a whole lot. Nothing funny happened.
Any good previews?
You know what? No.
All right.
I take that back. There was there was one preview that was interesting to me, and that was Clint Eastwood's Sully. Saw the preview for that.
Oh, yeah. I told you about that.
Yeah.
Does it have that part in the preview where he's like, we'll see, Hudson?
No. It was all like, everybody was like, you didn't have to crash that plane in the Hudson.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I didn't crash it. It was a forced water landing. And they were like, yeah, well, it turns out one of the engines was still working. And he was like, nope. So he's like trying to like save his career afterwards.
Yeah.
And then, I knew this movie was coming out, but I didn't know it was called Sully. Which is like, boom. It's like, it's not called like Flight such and such or anything like that. Just straight up Sully.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He was the badass.
He was.
Of that whole thing.
Yeah, he like totally deserved it to be called Sully, So. Oh, other than that, there's a Halloween Medea movie coming out.
All right. Tyler Perry?
Yeah. No, who else does Medea?
I'm trying to figure out who Medea is. Okay, that old woman, yeah. Tyler Perry.
Yeah. Also some Bridget Jones bullshit. There was a movie coming out called Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. It's made by Ang Lee, okay? And it's all about, an American hero in the, Gulf War. Mm-hmm. Looks okay. So that's pretty much it for the previews.
All right.
So I took Heather with me to see this movie. She got to witness Ghostbusters 2016 with me.
Did she like it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Did you like it?
It was okay.
Yeah.
She says it was okay.
Girl power.
There you go, folks. Girl power. And you are going to find out just how girl power they went with this movie. Okay. It's actually a little weird, okay?
Can I take a guess?
Sure.
A man is responsible for all the problems.
Jesus Christ, Chris. How does he do it, ladies and gentlemen?
Am I right?
No, you're not.
Oh, okay.
Well, so the movie starts out, right? Starts out the way a regular Ghostbusters movie does, you just see some daytime shot of some downtown shit, and then immediately the theme song starts busting in.
Yeah.
The one we just sang. You doing it again?
Is it the original one?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
All right, but then it quickly, it closes down, and we're in this old mansion called the Aldrich Mansion, and there's a tour guide giving a tour. The tour guide, you would recognize him. I don't know if anybody else really would, but he was he's from that show Silicon Valley, and he's their guy that does all their appointments for them and talked about pivoting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He was great. So he's giving a tour of this mansion. He's like, this mansion, this is the Aldrich Mansion, and blah, blah, blah. There was this guy who used to live here.
I was looking for my phone, kind of freaking out, and it's under my crotch.
Where they usually are. So yeah, this tour guide's like, yeah, and in this room, this is where P.T. Barnum first had the idea to enslave elephants. Sir Aldrich, he did some shit and blah, blah, blah. And then his daughter, killed everybody in the all the servants in the house, and they locked her into this basement here. And then years later, somebody else bought the house, and then they dug up her remains. And then, a candlestick on the table, knocks over, and everybody gets scared. He's like, okay, well, let's leave, but let's avoid this door. The door's covered in locks, okay? Mm-hmm. So then it shows him leaving work like he's closing up for the day, and he goes over to the candlestick, he picks it up, and he's got a little remote control in his pocket that will make it jump and fall off the table, and he's like, ha ha, like there's one born every minute. And that's when the theme song happens. All right, so then we see Kristen Wiig. God bless her. And she's playing a character named Erin. Okay, and I can't really tell you which original character she replaces because none of them really do that.
Okay.
Okay. So she's in her office, and she's a teacher at Columbia University. She's actually in a big, like, teaching hall, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to be teaching in the big hall now. Yeah, the big hall. Yeah. Whoa, yeah, big hall. And she's, like, dancing around, jutting her butt out in the air. And then her boss walks up behind her, and he's, like, standing right behind her ass. And she gets all embarrassed and stuff. So then they're talking, and it turns out that she's up for tenure. So, it wasn't her boss that walked in, actually. It was Ed Begley Jr. But you think he's her boss at first. He's like, excuse me, so... And he holds up a book, and he's like, I need to talk to you about something you wrote. And she's like, what? Like a thesis or something like that? He's, no, your book. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, this book. And he holds it up, and it's called Ghosts from Our Past. It's really big and thick. And it turns out she used to be a ghost hunter with Abby, okay, who is Melissa McCarthy.
Okay.
And the book was like a monumental failure, okay? And she's like, no, that's definitely not me, no. And he holds up the picture, and he's like, yeah, no, this looks like you. And she's like, okay, yeah, that's totally me. Anyway, look, I can't let anybody find out about this book. So, how'd you even get it? I thought I bought both copies. And he's like, it's on Amazon, and, it's on Books on Tape. He's like, but I didn't buy that because I know how to read. And he's like, look, I run this mansion, and it's haunted, and I need some help. And she's like, well, I can't help you, but here, give me this book. So she leaves, and then she goes to see Abby, who is now practicing, paranormal research at the blah blah Science Institute. And she goes to see her, and she's like, what the fuck, man? And Abby's like, oh, it's you traitor, you fucking bitch. And she's like, what the hell are you doing? Why is this book in print again? She's like, oh, that's a source of revenue, and with the proceeds from that, I'm about to be able to afford a mini fridge. Anyway, Abby is there in her lab, and she's got Holtzman, who is the super physics impossible technology inventor of the movie. So she's the Egon. One who's inventing all the guns and shit. And, they're buddies. So Kristen Wiig is like, you know what? I need you to shut this down. I'm up for tenure. If anybody finds out about this, I'm fucked. Okay? I'm not going to get it. So she's like, well, screw you. And how did you find out about it? And she's like, this guy came up and brought it to me. Said his house is haunted and he needs help. And she's like, holy shit, really? Where? Because she wants to go and research it. And she's like, well, why don't you go talk to him? She's like, well, introduce me to him, and then maybe I'll take the book out of print. And she's like, yeah, okay. So they go to the mansion, and they're talking to the little tour guide guy, and he's like, we're closed. And he had been haunted that night when he was leaving, and he got pulled down into the basement, and there was a whole bunch of green glowing shit happening, and then it just cut to Kristen Wiig. So she's talking to him. She's like, yeah, your boss, Ed Begley, he came to talk to me, and I'm here to meet him. And he's like, well, that's impossible. Ed Begley's been dead for 15 years. And it's like, oh shit. And it's like, oh shit, you were talking to a ghost. And then Ed Begley Jr. just shows up, and she's like, well, then who the hell's that? No, that's him. And he's like, oh no, that's Ed Begley Jr. It's Ed Begley's son. And she's like, yeah, what the fuck, man? And kind of gets a laugh in the theater. So like, yeah, go on inside and check it out. He gives her the keys because he won't go inside. He's so scared. So they're in there, and they're looking at the basement door, and it's all locked, shut, tight. And, they're looking around. And then Abby pulls out the PKE meter, okay? The iconic instrument from the Ghostbusters, right, guys?
Yeah.
Love it, right? Remember that thing? Fucking
Yeah.
cool thing with the two little light sticks coming up out the side.
Fuck yeah.
All it looks like now, man, is one of those spinny LED toys people buy at a kiosk in a mall. Okay? Yeah, these big LED, wands that just spin real fast. It looks like shit. Okay?
All right.
Kristen Wiig is like, what's that? She's like, it's a PKE meter. And I was like, wah, wah. She's like, if there's any ghosts here, it'll tell me. So then, they walk by, and Kristen Wiig is like, well, she slips in some slime on the floor. And she's like, yeah, real funny. And then behind her, the basement door that was all locked up tight just starts opening up. Whee! And she turns around, she sees it open, and she's like, yeah, real funny, guys. Nice. She walks into him, and she's like, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is just, you're just playing tricks? More tricks? Because back in their lab, they were like, come here and listen to this. This is a perfect example of EVP. And she, like, leans down to this tape recorder, and then there's just this big fart noise that happens. And they're like, yeah, we've never actually got anybody to actually sit there and listen to it before. Fart jokes. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what Ghostbusters 2016 led with.
Yeah.
Right?
No invisible blowjob jokes?
No fucking way. Yeah, no, this is a PG-13 movie.
Well, so was the original.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Well, then things have changed. All right, so they're like, whoa, we didn't open the basement door. What the hell's going on here? So then up from the basement comes a ghost, okay? Now also, when the guy dropped the candlestick, you see down underneath the table, and there was this blue glowing little contraption that was sitting there spinning. You don't know what it is, and you're not supposed to at that point. So then, but you're led to believe that there's a connection between that and the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So the ghost of that guy's son, or daughter, comes up out of the basement, and they're looking at it like, oh my god. And it's like the same moment from the library in the first one. They're like, it's a class 4 vapor, it's beautiful. Oh my god, it's great. I'm gonna try to make contact. So they Kristen Wiig is like walking up to it, and she's like, hello, oh hi, you are so beautiful. And then the thing just like vamps out, turns all shitty, and then vomits all of this slime all over her. So they all go running outside. And, the thing flies around the room and then goes outside and then flies off into the city. And the girls are all happy because they finally saw a ghost, Yeah. So it's like they're together again, Whole thing gets posted on YouTube, and Kristen Wiig loses her job.
Aww.
From her supervisor, the dean or whatever, who's played by Charles Dance. You know who he is?
Who?
He was the bad guy in Last Action Hero, and he was also the doctor in Alien 3.
Okay.
Okay. And, he was in this movie. Played her boss, and he fired her. So she's leaving with her box of stuff. She's telling everybody, oh, no, I didn't get fired. I'm switching offices. They found some cats in my wall. It stank. So she goes to their lab, the two women. And they're like, you know what? It's cool. You could just work here with us. Like, we're fully funded. This school is totally behind us. All we got to do is just go and ask for more money. So then they're in the dean's office of that school, and the guy's like, are you kidding me? Like, I totally forgot your department even existed. And so he fires all of them. And there's a big fat joke with him, like, sitting there flipping them the bird, and he does it like 1,000 times. Like, can you hear this? You need me to turn it up? Type shit.
Yeah.
They're just playing with his middle fingers. Again, that's the caliber of writing here. So then they're all fired, and they're leaving the school with all this equipment on, little carts and everything. They're like, well, we better get out of here because all this equipment's stolen. And then the dean comes out. He's like, that shit's mine, you bitches. And then they all gotta run. So then they're shopping for places, okay? Mm-hmm. Shopping for office space. And then they go to the firehouse, okay? And they walk inside like, oh, hell yeah, look at this. It's a stripper pole, okay? And they're all excited. And everything. Kristen Wiig is talking to the real estate lady, who it turns out wrote the screenplay. And she's like, yeah, the rent is $21,000 a month. And Kristen Wiig is like, what the fuck? Who the fuck can afford this? And she's like, well, you said you needed a place, blah, blah, blah. You didn't really talk about price. She's like, well, let's talk about it now. What do you got else that's cheaper? And she shows him this. She's like, do you mind the smell of Chinese food? And their home base is now an apartment above a Chinese restaurant.
All right.
It's like one room, okay? So they're in there, and wasting no time, they have an interview with Kevin, who is Chris Hemsworth, okay? Here to interview for the receptionist position.
Yeah.
And Kristen Wiig is, like, totally fucking in love with him. And she's falling all over herself for him, and he's like, have you... I don't know. Did you saw a bunch of previews for this movie, right? I didn't really see many of them.
I've seen a couple.
Now, what did they show of Chris Hemsworth in the previews?
He sits in the office.
And he's just sexy?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it turns out in the movie he's like super fucking dumb. Okay? He's like completely stupid.
Okay.
Doesn't know how to use the phone or anything like that, and he says stupid shit. Like there's an aquarium there, and he's like, aquariums are just submarines for fish. You know? And
that kind of makes sense.
yeah. But, you know, Kristen Wiig is like in love with him, and she's like, yeah, you're hired. And Abby and Holtzman are like, oh, you know, let's have an interview. So they sit down, they interview him. What have you been doing with your life? He's like, well, I try to do the whole actor thing, and, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And just more jokes about Kristen Wiig loving him. And they ask him, you know, go over there, don't listen to us, and we'll discuss things. He also is wearing glasses with no glass in them. And they're like, don't listen to us. And he covers his eyes. And he's like, okay, I won't. This is just like beating you over the head with how dumb he is.
All right. So they have this company. Do they have their proton packs and shit yet?
Not just yet.
Okay.
So Kevin gets hired. Meanwhile, we cut to this funny little wiry guy walking through the subways. And then you see Patty, okay, who is the African-American member of the female Ghostbusters, okay? And she is working at the token booth in the subway.
All right.
All right, now, she was great in this movie, to be honest. She was one of the most driving characters. I'm sitting here looking back on whose performance I enjoyed most, and it's probably her and then the little techie girl, Holtzman.
Okay.
You know, Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy, they like started the story out strong, but they ended up kind of, you know, fizzling, and you know the characters that really drove it were the other two.
Yeah.
So she's in the token booth and she's trying to talk to people walking by. They're all ignoring her. And then this wiry little guy walks up and he's like, they'll never pay attention to you, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, when the fifth cataclysm happens, laborers such as yourself will be the last to be, you know, sucked up into hell and then fucked off or whatever. And, you know, so enjoy your extra time. And she's like, yeah, okay, shit, you are crazy. See you later. And he's just like walking away, like smiling. And so she's like, all right. And then she sees him walk down onto the platform. She sees him on the video. And then he jumps down onto the tracks and walks off into the tunnel. She's like, motherfucker. So she picks up her flashlight, like it's her job to go after him. And she goes down after him. And she's down in the tunnels. And she's like, look, man, if you need to pee, there's a bathroom in Starbucks or whatever. And you see him walking around behind her. She doesn't see him. And then she finds a glowing blue little spinning device. And she's like, what the hell is this? And then it explodes. And then behind her, whoop, another ghost shows up. And she gets all scared and everything. And it just comes at her and she runs.
A better introduction to the blue-collar member of the team as opposed to the original, right?
Yeah. No, they really gave her a lot of screen time. Because when you think about it,
because Winston just applies for a job.
Yep.
He gets the job.
But here's the thing: it still totally worked. You know?
Yeah,
that's a big Twinkie. Tell him about the Twinkie. He's like, if there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say. All right. So after they hire Kevin, he's like, okay, I'll just go. I'll go bring my suitcases up. And they're like, what? You know, because he's not really supposed to be living there.
Oh, okay.
But you know, he's stupid. And then they turn around and Patty is sitting there in their little waiting room. And she's like, well, I just figured this was your waiting room. So, you know, here. Well, the position's been filled. Sorry. She's like, well, no, check this shit out. You know, I found a ghost in the subway. And they're like, wow, really? Yeah. Okay, let's go check it out. So then she's down there in the tunnels with them. And they're just going. And the blonde girl, Holtzman, she's pushing a cart full of equipment. And they're walking and they find some debris. Okay, from the little device that exploded. And they're talking about it and they're smelling it. And she's like, I'm smelling, you know, ionization and also fucking ghost shit. A whole bunch of, you know, nonsensical science, ghost physics shit.
Yeah.
And then the ghost appears again. Okay, and he, you know, they're like, look at that, its eyes, they're glowing. And all the ghost effects, they were, you know, they were okay. All right. I have seen them before.
Is all this scary?
Now you got to remember, you know, I'm in my 30s now, so no. But, you know, maybe to kids, maybe.
All right.
Now me and Heather were talking, and that was her big complaint, was that the original Ghostbusters was still sort of scary, okay, or at least freaky, you know, at parts.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not get that out of this movie.
Okay.
To be honest with you, You ever seen any of the Scooby-Doo movies?
No, but I read a review that said, I was waiting for Scooby-Doo to pop out.
Oh, dude, it's a Scooby-Doo movie.
Okay.
That is what this movie is. Okay. Now, I used to watch this movie. Okay. These Scooby-Doo movies, I've seen them before. All right. Now, here's the thing. They're okay enough to like keep watching. Yeah, it's funny. Whatever. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's cute. Especially if there's kids in the room. Because they're going to watch it. So you got to watch it with them, and it's mildly entertaining. And dude, I'm telling you, this is exactly what that was.
Okay. You know who wrote those Scooby-Doo movies?
No.
James Gunn.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
All right.
So the ghost comes out, and then, Holtzman, it's her time to shine. So she's like, all right, pick up this proton blaster. And here, she gives it to Kristen Wiig. And it's very primitive at this point. Like, she has to wear this giant collar around her neck to, like, stay grounded, And she's like, shoot it. So she shoots it at it. And then the stream from the proton blaster just kind of, it shoots out of the gun, and it travels about 6 feet and then just goes straight into the ground. Like a limp dick. All right. Yeah. And give it more power. So then she shoots it, and now it's firing correctly, and it ropes the ghost in, and they don't really know what to do next. Okay, so she's just kind of holding it, and then a fucking train is coming. All right, so they're backing up. She's falling down on the ground, Kristen Wiig, and the ghost is like coming at her, and then the train comes and it hits the ghost. All right, so then slime. Every time a car hits it, more slime hits all of them, and then. The ghost somehow is stuck in the last car of the train. So as the train passes and they're looking at the back of it, they see the ghost in the window.
Yeah.
All right. And they're all just covered in slime. But they're still all like, yeah, we saw a ghost. And they're like, the only way we're going to be able to prove this to anybody is if we capture a ghost. We're going to capture a ghost. That's it. So then they go to work on, inventing the trap.
So the YouTube video that got Kristen Wiig fired did not capture the ghost?
It did capture the ghost. Okay. But in the age of YouTube, which is when this movie happens, happens in modern times, everybody's like, it's fake.
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
But more importantly, that video showed Kristen Wiig jumping up and down, covered in slime, saying, yay, we found a ghost. So that's really what got her fired. Meanwhile, this video is getting a little bit of media attention, okay? Uh-huh. And so the news people are talking, and they're like, yeah, well, we now have famed, ghost debunker, Martin Heiss. And, he's here to talk with us about these girls and, these quote-unquote Ghostbusters, whoever they are. And so what do you think? Are they real? And then Bill Murray is sitting there, and he's like, no, it's bullshit. They're fake. And it's like, oh, yay, Bill Murray. That did not get any claps in the theater. Okay, but a couple of people were like, yeah, it's Bill Murray. All right. So then, they're in their lab, and Holtzman is like, see, this is a trap. And then you step on the pedal, and it opens up and shit. Blah, blah, blah. It's still very, pretty primitive looking. All throughout the movie, she's improving on the shit. So then they get a phone call. And every time the phone rings, Kevin, Chris Hemsworth is like, oh, I can't answer it. The phone is in the fish tank. And there's a fucking phone in the fish tank. And they're like, no, it's the one on your desk that's ringing. And he's like, oh, hello. And the name of their organization is like Investigators of the Metaphysical Realm.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's the media that dubbed them Ghostbusters. And they're like, this is bullshit. No way. But check this out. When they were about to go down into the subway, they're asking people on the subway platform, have you seen a ghost? And everybody's like, no, And they're talking to this graffiti artist who's about to paint on the wall. And Patty, who works there, is like, man, fucking told you, fucking get out of here. I don't want you painting on my fucking walls. And he's like, yeah, well, this is, it's my gallery or whatever. And they're like, have you seen a ghost? And he's like, yeah, I totally have. And they're like, well, what did it look like? And he's like, well, I'll paint it for you. And he starts spraying on the wall. And Patty's like, no. And he's just like, psh, 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 psh. And you just see it, from the wall's point of view, so you don't see what he's painting yet. And then, so they've been looking for a logo for the outfit of the examination of the metaphysical realm, right?
Gotcha.
And when Kevin showed up, for his interview, they were like, so it turns out he's a web designer, and I asked him to to show us some logos. And it's just like this one ghost with like giant tits. All right. And then he's got another one where they're like, well, maybe not this one. What else have you have? And he goes, is it the breasts? I can make them larger if you want. And there's another one where it's just like a picture of a house with a hot dog floating over it.
There are reviews of this movie saying he is the highlight of the movie.
Yeah, I guess. So they're like, what's up with that? That must not be for us. And he's like, actually, it is. That is for you. I assumed, you guys would get it that, a ghost is holding the hot dog. Like when he says that, it does make sense. Okay. And then Abby's like, okay, so your work is a little more cerebral, than what we're looking for, but we'll keep working on it. So they're down there and the guy's painting and they're like, all right, screw it. Let's just go. And the lady's like, I don't want you painting this shit on my wall. He's like, oh, you don't like the ghost? No ghost? He's like, all right. And then you see that he paints a big line through it. And then they move on. And the last person to walk off of the platform is Holtzman. And she's looking at what the guy painted. And she pulls out her camera to take a picture. And then you see it on the wall. And it's the Ghostbusters logo.
Okay. That's
when after that, they get attacked down in the tracks. So they got that on film, too. There's media buzz and shit. And so then they get a phone call, okay? And it's from a live music venue. There's a death metal concert going on. And it's, Beasts of Mayhem or something. But it's sponsored by Ozzy Osbourne. His name is on the marquee. Mm-hmm. Okay? And they go in there. And there is a hoity-toity little man who is, in charge of the whole thing. And he's played by that guy from Mad TV who did Stewart. Remember little Stewart?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The tall guy?
Yeah. Okay. And he, you know what? He does a pretty good job of emulating the hotel manager from the first movie. Mm. The guy who was like, I had no idea it would cost so much, I won't pay it.
But he works at a venue?
Yeah. And it's that, it's like a big opera house or whatever, but they're just happen to having a death metal concert there.
Gotcha.
And he's like, yeah, so the ghost is down here. It's fucking people up. And, it fucked up my friend here, Javier or whatever. And, so if you just wander around here, I'm sure you'll run into it. So then he leaves. And they're down there walking around. And Patty's walking around by herself because they all split up. She's like, I better not see any scary shit. Oh, my God, And they've all got proton packs now. Okay. They're also wearing subway worker jumpsuits. Okay. That's how they get their jumpsuits. From Patty.
Okay.
So Patty's walking around. I better not see any scary shit. She peeks into a room and it's like full of mannequins. And then she just goes, okay, that's a room full of nightmares. I'm not even going to walk in there. It was actually pretty funny. So then she's walking back out. And she's walking down the hallway. And one of the mannequins comes alive and just is walking behind her. She stops and turns around and it's standing perfectly still right there in the middle of the hallway. She's like, was that there? Oh my God, what the fuck? And then it just starts coming at her. So she just starts screaming and she runs. Okay, she runs into the room where all the other girls are and she slams the door shut. She's screaming and they're like, what? And then it starts kicking through the door. So then she backs off and then the mannequin comes through the door. And it's just like a blank-faced mannequin, okay? Mm. And they're like, oh, wow, it's possessing the mannequin. And they're saying more ghost talk, it's a level 5, possession, something like that. And, well, let's light it up. So they shoot the thing with their proton packs. And then the mannequin just explodes and this unbelievably huge, 7 times bigger than the mannequin, winged demon ghost just appears. Yeah. And then it just flies away. Then it cuts to the death metal band playing on stage and they're like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then the demon ghost comes up and everybody thinks it's part of the show. Okay. It's flying around and shit. And Ozzy Osbourne makes a cameo and he's like, Sharon, I think I'm having another flashback. So then the girls go on stage and they start doing battle with this thing and they're shooting at it and they're missing it. And then the little manager guy is like, this place is Art Deco, you bitches. Fucking aim for the ghost. Okay, because they're just destroying the place.
Yeah.
So then it disappears and everybody's like, what the fuck? And they're like, okay, we need to get down that way and this way. We need to split up. But the crowd is in the way. So then Melissa McCarthy, Abby, is like, I need to get over that way. You guys need to help me. You need to clear the way. But nobody's moving. So she's like, all right, then you're going to help me. So then she turns around. She crowd dives, stage dives onto the crowd. And they start moving her. And then Patty decides to do the same thing and go the other way. and everybody moves out of the way, and she just falls on the fucking ground.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God. And you watching the movie are like, did they seriously just do that?
Yeah.
They just like let the black lady fall on the floor? Like, that's happening in this movie? But then Patty actually deals with it, and she's laying on the ground, she's hurting, and she's like, okay, I don't know if that's a black thing or a woman thing, but I'm pretty pissed off right now. Okay? So she stands up, and then it turns out that the ghost is now sitting on her shoulders. And they're like, whoa, whoa, don't move, don't move. And she's like, no, don't tell me what's happening. You know, I can tell. I'm just going to leave. You know, and she like starts to try to walk away. There's this giant demon just perched on her shoulders. Okay, and they're like, no, really, don't move. She's like, look, you have a, and she's like, nope, I don't want to hear anymore. Okay, I'm just going home. So then they just start shooting it, and they actually they get it, and everybody's firing their guns at it, and they're moving it around towards the trap, like the courthouse scene in the second one.
Yeah.
Or the Slimer scene in the first one. They start working together, finally. So then Holtzman catches it in the trap, and everybody goes crazy. They're all like, yeah, cheering for him. They're like, yeah, we just caught a fucking ghost in this shit. Fuck yeah. So they're walking outside, and they're all high on life and everything. Now, that was all captured on film, too. So the news is talking about it, and they're like, yeah, what's up with these Ghostbusters? Blah, blah, blah. So then they're back at their lab, and Bill Murray shows up. And he's like, yeah, I'd like to see what the hell's going on here. What are you guys doing? Well, we're, doing some experiments. And Kristen Wiig is, like, intimidated by him, but nobody else is. And he's like, yeah, I'd like to see the ghosts. And you realize that he is now Walter Peck. Okay? And he's like, I want to see some ghosts. And they're like, well, we can't let it out of the trap. And he's like, oh, isn't that convenient? You guys catch a ghost, you have it in the trap, and now I can't see it. And Kristen Wiig like picks up the trap. She's like, it's right in here. I'll show it to you. And they're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that. No, you can't let it go. We have to invent. They haven't invented the containment system yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're still trying to figure out what to do with it. And he's like, well, I guess I'll have to take you for your word, which is shit. And Kristen Wiig is just like, screw it. And she opens the trap. Okay. The trap opens up and nothing comes out. It's like empty. And he's like, oh, isn't that funny? And then it comes out. And it comes out and it hits him and it takes him out the window. And he falls to his fucking death.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, the part that's not sweet about it is they didn't show that at all. Okay? He flies out the window, and you see the girls like, oh, looking out the window, and then it just cuts to a cop on the ground going like, who pushed him out the window? Oh. And they're like, a ghost. And they're like, what the fuck? Okay, so then we see the little guy, the little weird guy from the subway. Okay, and he works at a hotel called the Hotel Mercado. All right, historic hotel. And he's not only a weirdo on the subway, he's a weirdo there. Nobody likes him. None of the people that work with him. Mm-hmm. And, he's the janitor. And you see him down in his little, in his janitor cave, his boiler room, and he's, like, tinkering, and he's inventing more of those little devices. So he's planting these devices around the city, and when they turn on, they, like, they amplify the energy enough for ghosts to actually appear and be all malevolent and shit. Mm-hmm. And he's saying shit like, first I have to establish the lines, charge the lines, and then open the vortex, and then I'll rule them all, or whatever. And everybody's like, fuck you, there's a toilet clogged on floor 17, go check it out. And he's like, yeah, nothing would make me happier. Because he's like, oh, yeah, you guys are all just scum, and I'm gonna fucking kill all of you.
So a guy is responsible for all the problems.
Yeah, I guess. But, I think that's a little, sophomoric as a judgment against the Ghostbusters. If you want a real sexist judgment about this new female Ghostbusters movie, it's coming up.
All right. Sweet.
All right, so they're going over maps and shit, and they're looking at, where's all these attacks happening, right? And they're drawing X's on a big map of the city. And then Kristen Wiig, let me back up. After they captured the ghost in the trap, there's a scene where they're all celebrating and they're dancing. Okay. Mm-hmm. And Kristen Wiig just starts dancing. And you know how she's always playing these, like, you know, sort of nerdy women who, you know, are just kind of quiet and shy and everything. And but, you know, she ends up being like the love interest in whatever movie she's in, you know? Uh-huh. Like in Paul, perfect example.
Yeah.
So she starts dancing, you know, it's a little hot. You know, she's, you know, showing her stuff there. She's dancing in her jumpsuit and getting a little sexy there. And then Kevin walks in, okay? And he's like looking at them all dancing. And because he's dumb. And they're like, all right, Kevin, come on, come on. And he just like starts dancing into the room. And he starts dancing with one of the other women, right? Yeah. And then they all kind of stop dancing, but Kristen Wiig like sees her opportunity to get all freaky with him. So she starts dancing up to him, all like sexy and shit. And then he just like turns around and walks away. So like she like failed. Okay. So they're looking at all these lines or all these marks on the map, and Kristen Wiig just draws lines through them. And she's like, "What do these look like to you?" Somebody says, "Ley lines." And it's like, you know, apparently, you know, I looked it up in Wiki. Apparently, it's a real phenomenon or whatever. You know, weird shit happens, and if you plot the locations of like weird events, you know, a lot of them will. It turns out they occur in straight lines on the map of the Earth. Uh-huh. And, you know, apparently weirder things are supposed to happen when they intersect and shit like that. So then they look at the intersection point of all these lines, and it's the Mercado Hotel. So, like, we got to go and check this shit out. And they're looking up the Mercado Hotel, and they see a picture of the staff, and then Patty is like, "That's that weird motherfucker from the subway. That's him." So, like, okay, well, that's who we're looking for. So they go there, and they're asking around, and everybody's like, they go up to the front desk, okay? This is one of the great cameo moments. They go up to the front desk, and they're like, "Excuse me," and there's this woman working there, okay? Running the front desk, and she's got her back turned to him, and she's yelling into the phone, blah, 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 sha-da-da-da-da-da-da. And you know who it is, right? Yeah. And she's just like, excuse me. And then she turns around, and it's Annie Potts, and she just goes, "What do you want?" You know, she uses her old line, "Ghostbusters, what do you want?" And, you know, people cheered for that.
Yeah. Have we seen any montages yet?
No, you know what? I don't really remember any montages.
Okay.
That is something that is missing.
At this point, they've only caught like a couple ghosts?
They've only caught the one ghost, and then they let it go. Here's the thing, man, about this movie. The scale of this movie, much, much, much smaller than any of the, either of the first two. Here's the thing, dude. Also, this movie takes place in New York, okay? Now, the first two, where'd they film them? New York City, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, to such a scale that they had so many extras popping around. Ron Jeremy was on screen at one point, you know?
Yeah.
In this movie, you see almost no crowds on the streets. It is almost all like 4 or 5 people on screen at one time. Like, it is like a Paul Feig movie, okay? Yeah. It's like fucking Bridesmaids, all right? Okay. The scale of the movie is nothing, and I find out now that most of this movie was filmed in fucking Boston, dude. Okay, you don't film a Ghostbusters movie in Boston. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
So no, there's no big outside scenes, you know, and you know, there is later, but again, they were all filmed in Boston, and there's no fucking there's no city people running scared or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, where was I?
They're at the hotel?
Yeah, they're at the hotel. You see Annie Potts. They go down to the janitor's boiler room, and they find whole bunch of impossible machinery that this janitor has been building, you know, because he's a cultist or whatever, trying to bring about the apocalypse. And you see his big vortex creating machine. He's also got a bunch of mirrors around the room, which inside the mirrors you could see ghosts inside that are like banging on the glass, trying to get out. Wow. And that's the whole thing, is when he finally opens the vortex, then they can finally come out. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, bitches, well, here's my shit. And they're like pointing their guns at him and like, you need to stop now. You know, this is bullshit. And you know what? You might as well just give it up because you're about to go to jail. And at that point, watching the movie, I was like, what's he going to go to jail for? You know, he built some machines. Those machines did make ghosts, okay? All but he's committed no crimes. He's not going to go to jail. But as soon as they say that, you're about to go to jail, he's like, well, then screw it. And then he puts both of his hands on these big electrical coils and he electrocutes himself to death. Okay?
Okay.
You know, so he dies and he falls on the ground, and then Holtzman, the tech girl, walks up to the machine and just turns it off. Okay, so everything's fine. Now, at one point, the Ghostbuster girls were pulled in by a couple of agents. One of whom used to be on the Upright Citizens Brigade. You see a bunch of like comedy, actors in this movie.
I was scrolling through the cast list, and there are a lot of those kind of people.
Yeah, a bunch of Saturday Night Live people and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Even this main guy, this janitor, I hear he's been on Saturday Night Live. Anyway,
the tech girl, she's from Saturday Night
Live.
Yeah,
I found that out too. So then they're like, okay, cool. So they were called into the mayor's office because you got to have a mayor's office scene, right? Mm. The mayor is played by Andy Garcia. All right, and they're like, what the hell's going on here? Why did we get pulled in here? He's like, it's okay, don't worry. We know that you guys are on the level and everything's, we know that you guys are real. Okay, and they're like, oh, great, all right, we got some support. And he's like, well, here's the thing, if we tell everybody that you're real, then, it'll create mass hysteria, And he says the words mass hysteria. And you, as the moviegoer, are thinking somebody's going to talk about cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. But nobody says it.
All right.
So they're like, oh, yeah, okay. And he's like, so what I'm going to do is I am going to spin it to the media that you are frauds. And they're like, what the fuck? Why? And he's like, because, man, it'll create, panic. And they're like, okay. So then they have a bunch of stupid humor about, but the cat's already out of the bag. Well, I want you to put the cat back in the bag. There's almost 3 minutes wasted on that. Okay, talking about fucking putting the cat back in the bag. The writing in this movie is just I just don't get it sometimes. Anyway, so they shut down the, the guy's machine and everything. And the mayor's office sends a person there and they're like, yeah, thanks for everything you've done. Okay. But, so let me go talk to these media people and everything will be fine. And then she goes up to the media people and she's like, yep, these women are frauds. They pulled another stunt and everything. So then they're all just home and, Kristen Wiig is looking through the copy of her book that they found in the guy's possession. Okay, so it's like he was reading her book, and then that's what kind of spurred him on to know that he could bring about ghosts and shit.
Yeah.
So she's looking through it, and she finds his notes in the book and a whole bunch of cartoon, drawing with crayon and shit. And she runs across his plan, and his plan was to do everything that has happened in the movie and then eventually kill himself. And then he would be a giant janitor walking through the streets of New York, leading all of the dead people. And so at that point I was like, really? That's going to be the giant bad guy at the end? Is just a giant version of this janitor? That's what the cartoon shows anyway, right? So then Kristen Wiig has to, she calls her friends and she's like, no. I found his shit. This is the plan. This is what's happening here. And they're like, oh, yeah, whatever. Okay. Well, everything's fine now, so it's, whatever. He's dead. And then Melissa McCarthy is in the bathroom, and you see a little glowing light coming out of the drain in the sink, and she looks down into it. And it's like, hey, Abby. And then this ghost comes up out of the drain and goes inside of her. Mm-hmm. So then she's possessed. And she's talking to Patty and then Holtzman. And they're like, yeah, what the hell's wrong with you? And she's like, hi, Patty. She's acting all weird, So then she starts, she picks up a pipe, and then Holtzman's like, oh, hey, you found my pipe. I'm going to use that to make a proton shotgun. Because Holtzman has now invented a whole bunch of other different guns to use, like little sidearms and shit. And then one of them, oh, yeah, she's got proton grenades. Yeah. Okay, and she's got a little ghost shredder. She calls it a ghost shredder. Okay, you're just like, man, this ain't Ghostbusters. What the fuck is this? This seems like sort of second generation Ghostbusters cartoon type thinking.
Yeah.
And there is a few different scenes throughout the movie of them in the alleyway behind the Chinese restaurant trying this different shit out. Anyway, so she's like, or we can just use it to break shit. And then Abby just uses the pipe, starts breaking everything in their lab. So they start wrestling with her and stuff. They realize that she's possessed. She knocks Holtzman out the window. Patty's holding her up. And then fucking, she has to fight off, Abby, who is possessed and shit. And then, they all get pulled inside. And then the ghost, gets slapped out of Abby by Patty. Okay. And she slaps her. The ghost comes out. And then she slaps her again. And, that got kind of a laugh or whatever. The ghost flies outside, and they look outside, and then down on the street is Kevin, okay? And he's in his own jumpsuit, and he's got a little moped, all right, that's like got the gas tank painted white, and it's got the logo on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I'm decided, I suited up, and I'm ready to join you guys. Everything's going to be cool, okay? Because, I'm your 5th member, and it's all good. And they're like, no, come inside now. And he's like, you guys got to take me seriously, okay? Damn it, I'm tired of just being an idiot or whatever. I'm ready. And then the ghost just gets inside of him, takes possession of him, and then he's like, all right, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. Hope this guy can drive a motorcycle. And then he just speeds away. All right. So speaking of the motorcycle, speaking of vehicles, when Patty was coming to join the team, she's like, yeah, after the subway scene. She's like, after the ghost in the subway. Uh-huh. She's like, yeah, I came to join the club. And they're like, well, we're not really a club, and we're not really looking for members or stuff. She's like, yeah, well, you guys are all scientists, okay? But I've got a historic knowledge of New York. I know New York like nobody else. And my uncle has a car. Mm. And then Holtzman is like, well, we could use a car. I hate lugging all this gear around. She's like, yeah, see, it's a win-win. So then she pulls up the car, and it's a fucking hearse, all right? Yeah. And they're like, what? You didn't tell us it was a hearse? And she's like, well, my uncle runs a fucking funeral home, I didn't tell you he ran an enterprise rent-a-car. So then later, Holtzman pulls up in the hearse, and it's all decked out. It's Ecto-1 now. It's got the logo on it and everything. So then, they got Ecto-1. So now they have to go chase after Kevin. While Holtzman was passing out little sidearms to everybody, Kristen Wiig had picked one up. She was like, yeah, no, not that one. That's not ready. Here, you get this. And she gives her a Swiss Army knife. And she's like, sweet, what does this do? She's like, it's a Swiss Army knife. I just don't think women should be in this city without a weapon. Kristen Wiig's like, yeah, thanks. So then, Abby and Holtzman and Patty are chasing after Kevin. At this point, he goes into the hotel, and he opens up the vortex, and all the ghosts escape. And you got that whole scene where there's a big cloud vortex over the center of the city, and you hear dun 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 dun. All right, every time that song played in the movie, I was like, yeah, because no matter how else anything disappointed me, I still loved hearing the song.
Yeah.
So now there's ghosts all over the city, right, terrorizing people. But again, you don't see much crowd of people, okay? You see a whole lot of ghosts. Don't see very many people. So then the girls are walking down this street, and they see this old-timey, ghost version of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade happening. And it's all these weird old big balloons. And then one of them, turns its head and looks at them. And she's like, oh, shit, I made eye contact with that balloon. It's coming. So then, yep, all the balloons start coming at them. And they're like, oh, shit, we better shoot them. Pop them. Pop these motherfuckers. And so they start firing their proton packs at them, and they're popping them. And every time they pop, there's slime and shit like that. And then, they're popping one after another, and they keep getting about to be eaten. And they pop them, and they get to the very last one. And the last balloon is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. All right. And they are not able to pop him. And he falls down on top of them. So you're like, oh, they're screwed. And then we switch to a camera viewpoint from beneath the street. So it's like all 3 of these Ghostbuster girls are smashed up against a plate of glass. Okay. And Melissa McCarthy, oh, she's overweight. So, they made her nose like Miss Piggy's nose up against the glass, right? Mm-hmm. And then, but what's pinning them down is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So they're stuck underneath him. Yeah. And we're just seeing what it looks like underneath. And then all of a sudden, he's like, and then he pops. Okay. And they're like, oh, what the hell happened? And they turn around. There's Kristen Wiig with her Swiss Army knife. Okay. And that's what she used to pop him. And it's like, oh, yeah, she saved him. So then they're going. And they go to the hotel. And they have to fight a whole bunch of fucking ghosts. Okay. And there's a big giant one pointing at the girls. And, they got to fight through all this little army of ghosts and shit like that. And they're all using their little sidearms. Patty uses the ghost shredder, which just looks like a wood chipper, Uh-huh. She sucks this ghost in, and it was actually the ghost that was sitting on her shoulders that got released. Yeah. And it just turns into fucking blue slime, shooting out the back of the gun. All of these weapons, she explains how they all work, and it's just all hopeless, science, unrealistic shit. So they fight through it. And then they finally get to the hotel. And at the hotel, you do see a big crowd of people in the streets, but it's all military guys and police. Okay, and there's maybe only like 100 of them. So it's not a giant crowd, okay? Mm-hmm. And then you see Kevin, okay, and he's standing up and he's glowing, okay, because he's possessed. And he's like, yeah, all right. And then they're all like pointing their guns at him. And then he just like moves his hands, and then they all get like enchanted or whatever. And then they all just strike a pose from like a Saturday Night Fever. You know, like where they got one hand on their hip and then the other is a finger pointing in the air.
Yeah, like a disco thing.
Yeah, like a disco stance, okay? They're all doing that. And you're like, what the fuck is that? And they're just frozen that way. And then the Ghostbuster girls come running up. And he's like, oh, girls, late to the party as usual. So then they go inside and they're doing battle with him, okay? And they're shooting around the lobby of the hotel. And, he's like, oh, I'm Peter Pan. And he actually, like, flies around like Peter Pan. And it's all fucking stupid and shit. And then they're like, we need Kevin back. He's dumb, but we love him, and he's part of our team. And he's like, fine, you know what? You can have him. And then he gets out of his body, and Kevin just falls. So then they have to jump and break his fall and everything, and then they push him outside. So Kevin's okay. And then there's the ghost floating around, and he says, so what form do you want me to take? And he's all like, there's nothing scary about it. Nothing like, Gozer going, choose, you must choose.
Is this the ghost of the guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
The ghost of the janitor. Okay. And he's like, I'm having a lot of fun being a ghost. What form do you want me to take? And then Patty goes like, well, hopefully, something, small and non-threatening. That would be best. And he's like, okay. And then no shit. Okay. Are you ready for this? Because this is bad.
Okay.
He turns into the cartoon logo of the Ghostbusters. And he's like this? Okay. And it's like, boing. And you just see the ghost in the fucking red circle with the line through it. And he's animated and he's talking to him like this. Is this what you like? And she's like, yeah, I like that. And he's like, yeah, okay, cool. And then he like turns all dark and the red circle, disappears. And then he starts getting bigger and he starts growing and growing. And it's the fucking ghost from the logo of Ghostbusters. Okay. And that grows to the size of skyscraper proportions. And that is the big bad guy that they have to fight at the end.
Really?
Really. Okay,
now he gets... I sworn I've seen imagery of the Stay Puft Marshmallow.
He gets... Well, what you saw was that...
That was it?
Macy's Day Thanksgiving balloon.
Okay.
Now, as this ghost logo grows larger, he turns like, he gets all darker and his eyes are glowing and he looks mean and shit like that. But what he really looks like... You ever seen Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay, he looks like the bad guy in that. He looks like Oogie Boogie.
All right.
So he's walking around and, he's just like a fucking ghost in a sheet, really. And he's just like, he's knocking buildings over and shit like that. It's all computer generated. No fucking people in the streets. All right. Nobody running, stepping on cars. It's really just the Ghostbusters in the street.
Yeah.
And, they're shooting at him and shit. And it's not doing much damage. Now, while the Ghostbuster girls were on their way to the hotel, they go... And they're trying to find the hotel, and they run across this hot dog cart, okay? And it's glowing green from the inside. And they're like, what the hell is this? What's going on? Now, it's a hot dog cart, right? With glowing green light coming out of it. So you, as the moviegoer, know you're about to see Slimer, okay? Up he comes, right out of the hot dog thing. He's eating all the hot dogs. He's going fucking crazy. He looks pretty cool, and then they're like, oh, what the fuck is that? Because he just looks like a green turd. Okay, it's like much more well defined in this movie than he ever has been.
Yeah.
And he's floating around eating all the shit, and then he turns around and he flies past them and he gets into their car and he drives it away. Yeah. Okay, and they're like, God damn it, a fucking car! He drives it away. Then you see Kristen Wiig, while she was still trying to get to them, so she could pop the balloon and save them. She hails a cab. Okay, she looks into the cab. She's like, I need to get through Chinatown, and then it's Dan Aykroyd. And he's the cab driver, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't go through Chinatown. That's not. I don't go that far." And she's like, "Come on, man, don't you see what's happening around here? This is bullshit." And he's like, "It's fine. It's nothing but class 5 vapors. They're fine. Flying around. It's no big deal." And then she's like, "Come on, seriously, help me. Take me through Chinatown." He's like, "Look, I don't go through Chinatown. I don't give rides to weirdos, and I ain't afraid of no ghosts." And then he just drives away. And it was pretty anticlimactic. Heather was saying that when he said that line, it should have gotten a little more acclaim.
Yeah.
but it didn't get any. He just drove away. It was an okay cameo. So they're fighting this big ghost, and they're doing, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And Holtzman is like, well, if we can somehow reverse the polarity, of the vortex, and we can get a total protonic reversal, we could suck them all back into the vortex, back where they came from, but we'd need a lot of energy for that. Then they turn around and they see Ecto-1 driving at them. Okay? And you see Slimer driving it, and in the car with Slimer is a girl Slimer with a wig on and everything, and they're like, she's like his mall, okay? He's like driving around, going crazy in the car. Yeah. There's all these other ghosts in the car with him. It's like the party mobile, okay? And she's like, you mean like the nuclear reactor on top of the car? Like that right there? And they're like, yeah. So then the car's coming, and they all got to shoot at the big radioactive tanks on top of it. And it drives into the vortex, and they fire the guns at it, and it explodes. And then, yep, it works, and it reverses the vortex, and it's all sucking down. And then all the ghosts are getting sucked back into it, except for the big guy, okay? And they're like, he's too strong. So they're shooting at him and shit. And, it's too strong. And here you go. Here is your easy way out that the female Ghostbusters movie used. Okay, so everybody's getting sucked in, and the big ghost is the only one left, and he's like bracing himself against the buildings. And they're like, he's too strong. And then Melissa McCarthy goes, well, then let's loosen his grip, ladies. And then they all just shoot him in the balls. And all four of them are shooting him in the balls. And then he's like, roar. And he actually grabs his balls, and then he gets sucked into the vortex. And that is how the Ghostbusters saved the day. The new female Ghostbusters, girl power. That's how they saved the day, dude. They kicked a dude in the balls. All right? How's that shit? How do you like that?
Yeah.
No. So, I'm all for the girl Ghostbusters if they had done it right, but they fucking failed, man.
All right.
So he gets sucked into the vortex, and on his way down, he grabs Melissa McCarthy, and then he goes into the vortex. So they're like, oh shit, she's gone. And then Kristen Wiig grabs a cable, she straps it around her waist, and then she runs and jumps down in the vortex. She's flying down after him like fucking Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings, all right? Yeah. Catches up to him, and then, gets Melissa McCarthy, and she's holding on to her. And then the ghost falls down into some pool of green shit. And so he's dead, and then they start getting pulled up, and you see Patty and Holtzman pulling him up. And they pull him out of the vortex, and they both got totally fucking white hair. Okay, and they're looking at each other like, oh my god. So then it cuts to, days later or whatever, and they're in a little bar. They're all having a drink together. Now, here's the thing. Nobody saw any of this shit happen, okay? There is no big scene at the end where the whole city's cheering for the Ghostbusters and shit, right? Yeah. So they're still like fucking flakes, even though they just saved the city. And the mayor's office is on TV going like, yep, they're fakes. They're still like totally anonymous, and one of them even says like, well, now I know how Batman feels. And Holtzman, who is like, big nerd, tech nerd, is like, you guys are my family, I love you, you're my family. They're like, oh wow, yeah, that was real, okay, cool. So then they get visited by the mayor's aide, and she sits down, she's like, you know what, good job, you guys, good job, all right, you saved the city, damn right. Yep, sorry, you still can't get any credit for it. But here's the thing. We would like to fully fund your operation to prepare for any future, paranormal attacks. And they're like, all right, sweet. So is there anything you guys need? And they're like, yeah, there is one thing. And then it cuts to them in the firehouse. So now they got their new digs. They're in the firehouse. And that's the end of the movie. Dun-dun-dun. So then you see some.
Is Kevin okay?
Kevin is okay.
That's all I care about.
Yeah, he's in there answering the phones. Oh yeah, he's answering the phones. There's a whole bunch of mid-credit sequences. Okay, there's one where he's answering the phones and he's like, starts to talk. Like he's like, oh yeah. He's like listening to this person on the phone. He's like, well, that sounds like you have a class 4, Muslix, and he's just like starts saying all this stupid shit, but he's trying to sound like a smart Ghostbuster, and he's like winking at the girls, and he's going like, I'm sounding like you. Okay, and they're like smiling at him and nodding. And one of them's like, we should just disconnect his phone. He wouldn't notice. So he's like giving him the big thumbs up. And they're outside the firehouse. And then a hearse drives up. And it's like a regular hearse. You know, it's not an Ecto-1. And Patty is outside. And she's like, oh, shit, you guys.
Okay.
Oh, shit, y'all. My uncle's here. Okay. And everybody's like, oh, shit, her uncle's here. Because Ecto-1 disappeared into the vortex. It's gone. All right.
Yeah.
And he's like, he pulls up. And then she's like, oh, shit, my uncle's here. And then out comes
Winston.
All
right.
And he gets out and he's like, Patty, what the hell's going on? Where's my other car? And then everybody in the theater just starts fucking clapping. All right. And I joined in. I looked at Heather and I was like, hell yeah, I'm clapping for this motherfucker. And he's like, I got 4 funerals this weekend. How am I supposed to do it with one hearse? He's like, can't you put him on top of one or the other? Whatever. Haha. Credits keep rolling. And so I looked it up online. It turns out there is a stinger at the end. But it's not very impressive. So it shows all the Ghostbuster girls in their lab. And, you know, they're all tinkering with shit. And then you see Patty, and she's listening to some recordings on a tape player. And she's like, oh, uh-oh, what's this? And they're all looking at her because she's got headphones on. And she keeps rewinding it and playing it. But you can't hear it. She's rewinding and playing and rewinding and playing and rewinding and playing. And they're all like, what is it? And then she just turns to him and she goes, hey, you guys, what's Zool? It's like, dun dun da da dun dun dun. And that's the end.
All right.
So there you have it. Ghostbusters 2016.
You think they'll make more?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to know my...
Scooby-Doo 3.
Real quick, my idea for Ghostbusters?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. You have 6 Ghostbusters instead of the 4.
Uh-huh.
So you can throw in some females, males. You can mix it all up, the melting pot.
Yeah.
The big bad guys are the original 4 Ghostbusters,
That's
who
cool,
are all
man.
now ghosts.
I like that.
Yeah. Big missed opportunity there.
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
even have to be in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm missing one cameo. Okay. While they're still all in the lab, you know, at the end, Holtzman is like, yeah, look, check it out. This is our new containment unit. She's just invented it.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, well, what does it do? Well, you know, we could put the ghosts inside and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, how'd you come up with this? And she's like, well, I had some help. My mentor is here. And then out comes Sigourney Weaver. And her hair is all fucked up. And she's wearing funny glasses just like Holtzman. And she's like, oh, yeah. And they're laughing and shit. So there you go, Sigourney Weaver.
All
She
right.
did not get a clap. But it was still cooler to see her than Bill Murray. You know. And there you have it, guys. Ghostbusters 2016.
All right. Maybe we'll still be around when the second one comes out.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully it's better than this one.
All right, guys. Don't forget to try to leave us a rating or a review. Check out our Facebook page, Movies with Ron. All right. Love you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Gatorade?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.